Welcome to the Stone Roadie Show, with the world's most famous roadie named Craig Reed. He's the legend and has some great weed. He's our #1 source for our ski information, which is what we all need from the band that we love. He has a trusty sidekick, Griff Martin, the one we know as a rocket scientist. You may see Griff on the road getting it done, which always makes the show so much more fun. Two great men doing great things for the crash survivors. Send a little money when you can, if you want to lend a helping.
Rise and shine, everybody. It's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
It's the Stone Roadie Show. All the ski information you all want to know is here on the Stone Roadie Show. Action. All right then, fellows. Two-legged creatures. Looky here, looky here. Hey, my name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie. This is my co-host, co-pilot, and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. And I guess I'll just start this thing off. Oh, God. Oh, here they are. Yeah, pardon me. I'm stoned. Hey, yeah. We got, we advertised we're doing them sticker deals. I might have mentioned this last week, but we'll go over this anyways. Brian Marshall, he got the first one, so he got the first, and he got the document of authenticity with it. The stickers are $50, and if you want a document of authenticity to go with it, you got it from the Stone Roadie Show for a donation to the Forgotten Survivors. Be $100, and that you get a nice little document of authenticity that you can hang up your wall and show off to all your friends and family and whoever the heck you want to show off to. And Monica Buffington. Oh, by the way, Brian Marshall. He wanted his name on his, and he wanted designated that he got #1. And Monica Buffington, she got the package too, but she got the document, but she didn't want her name on it, and just the #2. So you got her there, Monica. And all these stickers that people sent their money onto, these things have already been mailed. So I saw somebody go, "Oh yeah, now you got these stickers going, and that you're good." We've been waiting on our prizes for 2 years. They've been 2 years.
Yeah, it has.
Has it been 2 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got brain damage. You have to understand. I got problems, man. I'm still a functioning alcoholic.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to argue that with you, Craig.
I was counting up the Crown Royal chocolate bags that I have. I have 10 of them damn things. But it ain't hard to drink 10 bottles of that stuff in what?
You can knock those prizes out in 2 days and never have to worry about it again, man.
Oh, I will. I'm just, I promised 2 months ago I'd get them out.
Yeah.
But anyway, Matt Norman, hey, he got a sticker. Got one of the stickers already been mailed out to you. Yeah, I contacted all these people and told them it was on their way. And Donna Rackmeyer, hey, yeah, your sticker, it's on the way too. But you already know that, but everybody else don't know that, so I'm telling everybody. And then Kent Griffith, he did the $250 donation here last week, and I don't have all my totals here because I got so many people, so much money coming in. No, not that much, but anyways. All right. Anonymous Mary. Anonymous Mary. I'm just going to close out those shirts. And she's got she got those 3 shirts, and then when I threw this Stoned Roadie in my impingement, the Stone Roadie T-shirt with one of the crew, um, it went. It went from $60 to Anonymous Mary bid 150 on it, so I haven't had any action on those two there. So hey, Anonymous Mary, you done be the winner of that situation there. And Rick Bullard, he says, I just had an idea, and it's good for everybody. Let the bidder that bid 265 on it for the prisoner art, and I'll donate $100 for the sticker and the DOA, plus pretty please I donate another 100 if you send me one of those pictures of Alan and Ronnie sitting on the couch at the Hell House with the skull and crossbones sticker in the window by their heads. That would make a total of $465 for the whole deal, and everybody wins more money for the survivor. So yeah, $465, and all I got to do is add one of those, one of my pictures that I have of Ronnie and Alan sitting on the couch. So I said, yeah, that's a good deal. So we're going to close that one out. And God, that's all I think that's all I got to talk about, except for I heard somebody called me today and told me Freebird was nominated as the #1 American song of all time.
Yeah, let me read that, Craig. I got it pulled up right here.
Oh, do you? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it says 1973 hit. Ranked Best American Rock Song of All Time. Nearly 6 decades, the sprawling anthem stands atop American rock lane as the definitive classic rock song. Key points being Freebird has been named the best American rock song of all time. Its legacy includes iconic live performances and entry in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Johnny Van Zant revived the band after a tragedy, giving the song renewed significance. Lynyrd Skynyrd, Freebird, has been named the best American rock song of all time by Ultimate Classic Rock. When the Freebird first appeared on pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd in 1973, few could have predicted the enduring legacy it would build. Decades later, the sprawling Southern rock anthem is still widely recognized as one of the most iconic rock songs in American music history. Yeah, written by guitarist Alan Collins and singer Ronnie Van Zant, Freebird originally clocked in at more than 9 minutes on the album, which was a bold choice during a time shorter singles reigned supreme. The track was released as a single in the late 1974 year, eventually reaching number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 in early 1975. More than just charting single, Freebird slowly became the emotional centerpiece of Lynyrd Skynyrd concerts. On the band's 1976 live album, One More from the Road, the song's performance stretches well over 14 minutes, with electrifying dual guitar interplay that helped it join the league of classic rock staples. The title and lyrics capture an expansive American ideal, freedom of movement and spirit, although some early speculation held that the song was a tribute to Allman Brothers guitarist Duane Allman, who died in 1971. It was later revealed that the song was written before his passing. However, the band chose to occasionally dedicate it to his memory in live show. That's where Ronnie dedicated that over there at over there in England at the what was the name of that thing again, Craig?
Nebworth.
No.
The old gray whistle test?
The old gray whistle test. Yeah, the old gray whistle test. The song's legacy goes well beyond rock, radio, and music venues. Freebird is included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 500 songs that shaped rock and roll, and it's consistently included in roundups and rankings of the greatest hard rock song of all time. When Van Zandt died in a plane crash in 1977, the future of the band and performances of the song became uncertain. Lynyrd Skynyrd guitarist Gary Rossington brought Van Zandt's younger brother Johnny Van Zandt into the band in 1980, and not only did he help reshape the band, he took over singing for his brother. Excuse me. I had never wanted to be in the band, Johnny Van Zandt said. He said he was, 10 years after the crash. I was called into a meeting. I walked into a room, and here are three guys who survived the crash with my brother. They wanted me to come on for a tribute. Van Zandt joined the band, and the rest is nothing short of rock history. Since then, the song has taken another meaning entirely. Over decades, the song's message plus blistering guitar work and impassioned vocals have helped Freebird stand as a defining moment in rock music, ranked by multiple outlets and beloved by generations of listeners. It remains a towering achievement in American rock songwriting. Yeah, and that was an article written by Nina Derwin on Parade, the news writer for Parade. So I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool the way how they put Freebird into the Budweiser commercial with
Well, when you go to a
Clydesdale.
concert, and just about every concert you go to, somebody yells, Freebird, Freebird.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. Hey, Craig, you ever tried one of these THC infused drinks? This
No.
particular one, Daisy's, is a fruit punch, and it's got 10% THC in it. And I tried one the other day, and I got a little buzz on it. And but it's like a gummy, but it's a little quicker. It's a little faster than a gummy, but you have to drink that whole can of and it's nasty to me. I don't mean, we're not advertising for Daisies, but it doesn't taste like fruit punch. A little bit, but it's not bad. It's just not like a real fruit punch to me. I mean, fruit punch just tastes good. This has got a twang in it. But if you're getting high, you don't mind getting through it. So that's the truth about that. And I think everybody would agree. Now, I'm wanting to get me a bottle of that Willie's because, it just supposedly you just take a shot and you're good to go. And so that's how I want to roll. It's just a shot. And I don't want to do any alcohol and get a headache. I just want to get a nice little buzz. And I don't want to smoke if I can, because, I just don't think smoke is, well, don't agree with me, man. But, some people would rather just take a pill, and you can go to the dispensary and you can get gummies and you can get drops and you can get, but I don't care what anybody says. If you want to argue with me, go ahead. There's nothing like smoking a doob and getting a high off of a doob. You know what I mean?
No, there's not.
There's not. You
There's
can't.
not.
It's not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
Not the same.
So put in there in the comments, you listeners, if you agree with that or disagree with it, and we'll kick that around on the next podcast. But, if you're a weed user, and you're comparing it to some drops and gummies and all that stuff, infused drinks, what's your opinion compared to actually burning a doob? And you can see the Stoned Roadie prefers to smoke.
I My buddy gave me a bunch of keef the other day, and he said, "Here, put some of this in your soup." So I made me a bowl of soup the other day. You gotta heat the soup up to about 350, and
Yeah, because it activates the heat,
yeah, so
activates
you do.
yeah.
So I was using these little spoons here to
Did it work?
yeah. So I says one spoonful, two spoonfuls. Oh, what the hell? Three spoonfuls in one bowl of soup now. And I about 2 hours later, I think his name's Sam Gill. I was talking to him, and he was asking me how I was doing. I goes, "Hey Sam, I think I might have put too much damn shit in my soup." I mean, I got high like I did on them brownies when I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, you
But
remember.
luckily I was right there. I just went and laid down in the bed. But man, I had a good buzz going. I was high as Cootie Brown, boy. I'll tell you
I don't
what.
see, that's why I don't like taking gummies and that stuff because you can't control it so much. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, if you've taken them and you know what you can take and the milligrams and all that, yeah, but like if you go eat like a brownie at somebody's house, you better freaking watch out, man,
yeah.
because you don't know what they did, you know?
From now on,
And
I'm just one scoop. Well, I think one scoop will be good. Boy,
like
three of
when
them.
your friend made that cookie for you for your birthday, and I played the
That's why they put
recording.
it in. They put that keef in there, you
Yeah,
know.
I,
And
I
that's
played
that's the
that.
tri that's the trichones off of the if you
Yeah, because if you look like there's a dispensary called Clean Green, and they sell to people that don't have a medical marijuana card. And the reason they can do that is because the way they raise the weed is it's not active THC until you burn it. Once you burn it, then that makes the THC, turns it into actual THC where you get a buzz on it. But and how they do that, they try to keep the light away from it when they grow it, the best they can, because when it matures and those buds start kicking in, that's when you start getting all that THC buildup in there. But yeah, you check out Clean Green if you want to get some weed and you don't have a dispensary card. It's expensive, but you can get it without the dispensary card. You just have to be 18 years old and they'll mail it right to your house. I tested it just to see if they're full of shit, but yeah, you get a buzz on that. You get a
yeah.
buzz on that. They got good weed.
Whenever I made brownies before, I just took the buds and ground them up and put them in a pan with butter, and then I cooked the butter, got it real hot, and then strained it, and got the roughage of the marijuana out, and then I put that butter in the brownie mix, and that's how I made it. But I just said, hell, I ain't gonna do that with this keef. It'll just disappear in there, because it's just powder. So
Yeah.
I just put it in there and got the soup real hot.
Did that really light you up, man?
Oh man, I got too high.
Yeah.
I was going. Phew. Greg, you should start out with I'm learning. I'm
You know what they
75
need
years
to
old.
make
I'm
like
still learning. This Craig, you need to start out with one scoop. You don't try to max it out.
you know what it kind of reminds me of? The hash, a bouillon cube, like a beef
Yeah.
bouillon. You
Oh yeah.
take it to start putting those things like, in your freaking like a bouillon cube. You just get it wrapped up like that and drop it in your soup, man.
But
And away you go.
I've told everybody I'm mentally ill. I have problems, man. I tell everybody, that I quit drinking and I quit smoking and then but I did. I lost weight and I don't smoke those darn cigarettes. Those are, I got a lot of problems, but I don't smoke cigarettes and I don't try to get rid of my problems by with comfort food, you know, so I'm not fat and I'm not gonna die of any nicotine problems.
Well, you know what's weird about smoking cigarettes? Now I know I've known you pretty long time, Craig, and since I've known you, compared to somebody that smokes cigarettes their whole life, their freaking face ends up looking like a catcher's mitt, man. It's all freaking wrinkled and shit. And
Yeah.
but now
The
here's
cigarette
Craig.
smoke affects your face, your skin. That's the worst thing it does.
Yeah, that's weird because smoke isn't smoke. You know, I mean, marijuana smoke, you don't get wrinkles from that.
No. Yeah,
You know
that
how
tobacco stuff will kill
how
you.
people that smoke, they have those like wrinkles around their mouth.
Oh
I don't know if
yeah,
is that
yeah.
from pulling on the cigarette all the time? Is that like
Yeah,
from
they got the wrinkles all around their mouth. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but you don't get that from weed. I
No,
don't
that's
know,
why I
man.
grew a beard so you couldn't see my wrinkles. Can't see my double chin.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I
My face,
remember.
my chin's not fat. You can see my veins in my chin. You know, look.
Craig, you know my
But if you get in a certain position, I've not. Sometimes I watch the podcast. I go, God, you got a double chin.
my
But it's not
grandkids.
like most people. Most people got, you know, there's not many people that you can see their veins in their neck, you know. So I'm not
My
fat.
grandkids go to the same elementary school I went to, or they one of them's there. The rest of them moved up to junior high, and there was a teacher that was my teacher that was still there, and her name I'm not going to tell you her name. We'll just say Miss Smith, and so I asked him. I said, "Is Miss Smith there? You know, still?" And they go, "Yeah, she just retired." And I said, "Well, she had to be pretty old." And they go, "Yeah, she was really old." And I said, "Well, how old was she?" And they go, "Oh, she's
Wicker.
pretty old because she got skin like you."
Ah,
I was like, "You ain't getting any damn Christmas presents this year, you little bastard." You know, but yeah, but yeah, that weed, man, it's kind of weird how that weed works. You know, you can
it's
gummies compared
medicine.
to yeah, it's but smoking versus cigarettes versus weed. I did read an article where they say weed is just as bad for you smoking for your heart as cigarettes. I did read that. So
I don't think they've ever diagnosed anybody that's died from marijuana. You know, I don't. Not that I've
yeah,
ever.
well, it's been around since the 50s, so it's not like
You
it's
know,
anything new.
I've never. And they say the only way you can die from marijuana is if bales falls on your head.
Yeah, you would think there would be more, studies on it.
Yeah,
And medical marijuana, that's kind of like an oxymoron if it doesn't help you. So,
yeah.
but yeah. And, um, you know, I, I just, I just don't think anything, like, okay, when you clean your pipe out and you see all that resin and shit in there,
Oh
that's all
yeah,
going
yeah.
in your
That's why I
lungs.
smoke that little pipe. All that black stuff is in there. I got,
Yeah,
and
that can't be.
that pipe collects it real good, man.
Yeah, that can't be good for your lungs, man, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, yeah, and got a little bit of bad news for the folks. We wanted to get Bill Sykes on. He was a plane crash survivor, and he was actually the guy who knew he had a pilot's license, I'm pretty sure, at the time. And so he was actually talking with the pilots, and he did see the configuration of the instrument panel and was a witness to where the tank switch was. And we were going to get him on here, and we were talking to him, and he's decided that he does not want to come on the Stone Roadie show because he says it's too. He doesn't really want to share that story in this forum. So if it's something that we did, you know, I wouldn't doubt it, because, you know, we're
I told
definitely
I told him if
controversial.
I told him if it was the marijuana that I smoke on the show that I wouldn't smoke, and he said no, that wouldn't be an issue. But I
Yeah.
got his. I forget how I got his number. Somebody gave me his number. Somebody knew him and gave me his number, and I
Yeah.
contacted him. He goes, "How'd you get my number? Who is this? How'd you get my number?" And it was through a business networking thing that he was
Yeah, and there for a while,
associated with.
I was in touch with Janelle Caldwell, or Tori Caldwell's daughter, Janelle Caldwell, and she said, "Yeah, I'll come on your podcast." And I've been sending her messages, and she has not replied. So that's another one that I'm going to just stop mentioning hopefuls, because hopefuls don't get you anywhere, man. You know, if you get people hopped up and then you don't produce, it's just not cool. So next next guest that we have on, we don't know yet. Cause
I want to get Mike Owings on. I keep telling Mike Owings to come on. He was a popular one. He was
yeah,
he's funny. He was going to tell the story about the band. He was with the Jacksonville band that broke up, and they're trying to get back together. What's her name? Um, can't remember. Shinedown or. But anyways, that was the one Robbie Morris, Johnny's cousin, was in,
yeah.
and and Robbie just got a new set of drums, and they put this band together, and they were going to do their first rehearsal. Whoever the guitar player was, or whatever, was going to called the guy, called Robbie. Robbie said, "Hey, before band rehearsal, could stop and get me a bottle of whiskey and some cigarettes." And the guy said, "No, I don't take nobody's cigarettes and whiskey." And Robbie said, "Well, screw it then. I don't want to do this anyways." I wasn't going to tell that story. I was going to wait.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
I
Well,
was
he
going to
saved
wait
him a bunch of trouble,
for
didn't he?
Mike
Because
Owings. But he's a good guitar player, man.
oh yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah,
Alan told Chad, he said, "Yeah, he's a great guitar player." But Alan said, "But he's a freaking nut."
he is a nut, man. I think he's crazier than Alan was.
For Alan to sell somebody a nut, that's a piece of
Yeah.
work, man.
And I like that story that he told when they were going over the bridge in Jacksonville, and then and Mike was driving, and Alan just reaches over and slaps the shit out of Mike. And then Mike goes, "What the hell did you do that for?" And he goes, "I just want to see what you do." And so he pulls over on the bridge, and he gets out, and Alan rolls his window up and locks his door, and he goes, "I'm going to show you a Freebird, you son of a bitch. You're going over the side of this bridge." Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
funny story.
he didn't know my son Chad was my son until I don't know. Not
We were at Whitey's, and that's when he found out. I was sitting right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Yeah. He come
yeah.
up to me and said I was in the Alan Collins band. I goes, "No, you weren't. Who do you think you're talking to? You weren't in the Alan Collins band. That band broke up. That's why I left Jacksonville." He said, "No, I was." And yeah, he was with Steve Reynolds
Yeah.
when Alan was trying to put the band back together, but that wasn't going to work. But yeah, he's
Well,
a
they
character.
could officially say they were, you know, in the Alan Collins band. So,
Yeah, yeah. We might have to get Mike on here pretty quick.
well,
I've been telling him.
I'm gonna go. They still have not ready yet, but there's talks about us getting together there and with Steve Reynolds again. So we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of questions surrounding this type stuff here in the comments and questions. So we'll just go ahead and jump into these comments and questions, and that answers a lot of stuff. So just like Roger Johnson, Johnny and Ricky were on Bert Kreischer's podcast. I'm not familiar with that, and I hope
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
yeah. And they were
He's the one
talking
that did
about
he's the one that did the Daytona thing. This is Monday, but Sunday he did the Daytona thing. It was actually today because we're doing this at Sunday night, so we can get it going. But yeah, Skinner played a party down at Daytona, and he was there, and they were interviewing him, and they were playing "Call Me the Breeze." Yeah.
Yeah, so Roger asks, if Johnny and Ricky were on that podcast, why will he not come on your podcast now? Craig, that goes in line with the thumbnail that we have up. Why does Lynyrd Skynyrd hate me?
I thought you said the guy asked a direct question of why does he
Well,
hate
yeah,
me.
but that is, there's
Which Lynyrd Skynyrd are we talking about? Because
there's another question
the
original,
in here. The original Lynyrd Skynyrd, me and them, we were all best friends. I mean, even Artimus. I mean, me and Artimus were. God, I was his first drum roadie. Me and him. I used to go to, I thought we were best friends, man. But, here recently, he's got something against me, man. He thinks I'm, people talk about donating money to the Stone Roadie show, and he says, well, he's just going to put that in his pocket. He'd sell our underwear if he had, we was the band. We trusted him as a roadie. The band trusted him. We thought he was our friend. He'd sell our underwear. I don't know what the hell's,
Yeah.
But yeah, he hates me. And there's Lynyrd Skynyrd, the trademark. I don't have any problem with the tribute band. And there's only three of them that I know, Ricky and Johnny and Michael. Other guys, well, I met Damon and I met all the road crew guys, of course, Boxcar.
I would say that the people that own...
No, they treated me great at the gig, and
the people that own Lynyrd Skynyrd hate you,
yeah,
Craig.
Yeah, the trademark,
Yeah, because you're going around and you're digging up freaking shit from the plane crash. They don't want to be dug up. They don't want to even talk about that now. And they don't want you trying to come out there and get on stage or any of that shit. They don't want any of that. They don't want anybody from the plane crash on stage for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they don't.
Well, it's gotten, ever since we started this podcast and started, taking up a fun for the survivors, which is something I never even really thought about doing, and, until people started saying, what are you and Griff going to do with the millions of dollars you're going to make off this podcast? And we said, I will just give it to the survivors, So then people start wanting to donate. So I turned them down. I goes, I don't want to do a donation thing. Then so many people did. I started to feel bad. I go, shit, man, you can put this money aside and then divvy it up to them. And then that person, the ex-drummer, he goes around and tells everybody, that the money goes in my pocket and it makes people not want to donate. And, we're straight up about the money we take in. It's all above board, and, especially recently. So since I started doing it with this Excel sheet, I don't have an exact figure right now, but we got another $1,000 coming in just from just last week, but I don't have the cash, so I can't talk about it. But but yeah, last week we left off. We had about $211 for each person, so that's 1,000. I forget the figure, 1,080 or something like that.
Yeah, and for somebody that
that's their first month.
Yeah, just look at it like this. Like if you got a few thousand a year from somebody, just I mean, the podcast isn't making them wealthy or anything by any means, but it's a nice little gesture that those people know that there's people thinking about them, the people that were on that plane that were forgotten, the forgotten survivors, when they get that check, they all appreciate it because they know people are thinking about them, and then of course the money helps. So
The money helps, yeah. Mark Frank had to get another car here. And
yeah.
his car broke down right at the time we were sending out money.
And see what
Paul
we're
Welch.
kind of
I don't
hoping.
think Paul Welsh is doing very well. I
No.
sent him money a month ago, and I had to write to him and call him and see why he didn't cash the check. And then I told his sister, about it, and she contacted his wife and said, yeah, they had the check. She hadn't cashed it yet. But I don't think he's doing very well. They acted like she was his caretaker, and he wasn't doing
Well,
well.
he wasn't doing very well when I interviewed him there at the Ronnie's house. And if you guys want to go see that, the Paul Welsh, when I interviewed Paul Welsh, it was back, I think, the same time that we did Whitey's. But yeah, he was the Ronnie's monitor guy, and
Controlled the whistle.
yeah, and I
When he whistled, he
interviewed him.
turned it down in the monitor so it didn't blow
It's
the band's
Yeah, it's a killer interview that I did with Paul, and he was out there sitting on the swing right there where Lacey and sister used to swing in their swing on the porch there, and I interviewed him, and his sister Kay Coates was there, and it was a really good conversation, and we talked about you know. Everybody was like hate it when Ronnie would whistle. They hated it because it was just like
Oh, I'd blow your eardrums out.
yeah. And so he turned Ronnie off, right?
He whistled loud, man. His whistle was
Yeah,
loud. It was piercing.
yeah. So
Knock
yeah,
me to my damn knees.
and then of course Craig, you did sell Gary's funeral brochure, which that did.
Oh
That didn't
yeah,
make
that pissed that
I'm going to
pissed
go ahead and
Artie off.
say nobody liked that. I'm going to go out on a limb and go nobody liked that. Johnny didn't like that. Ricky didn't like that. Nobody liked that. I'm going to have to probably agree with myself on that. Griff, do you agree with yourself? Yeah, I agree with myself on that. What, anybody in the comments want to add to that, because I think that nobody's going to disagree. I think that now if they know Craig, they know he
If
didn't.
they knew me and Gary's relationship, I'm sure Gary got a kick out of it. I was trying to get us more money than Elvis did for his funeral brochure.
I think
And if
what
I'd have got
Gary would have liked about
$5,000 for it, I'd have done it, and I'd have donated it to the survivors. I did donate the money I got for that plane crash for his funeral brochure. I gave to Mark Howard. I sold 2 of them. Gave all the money to Mark Howard when he was getting his leg fixed, and I'm sure Gary wouldn't mind that. I'm sure he was laughed about the whole.
Oh, he was laughing his ass off. If
But
it's
boy,
possible,
it sure
yeah.
ruffled some damn feathers in the trademark of Lynyrd Skynyrd, like it ruffled their feathers when we went out there and did the tribute to Gary out at Whitey's. That Craig and him and Gene are just gonna go out there and sell T-shirts and try to make money. And all I did was give away business cards that I signed.
And you know what? That was a Griff Martin idea. That whole Whitey
And that turned
thing.
out great.
Yeah, because
Everybody loved that. They didn't. There's so many people showed up at that funeral, and then they wouldn't let them in.
Yeah, they didn't
And then
have
the
anywhere
people
to
had
go.
nowhere to go. So we had
Yeah.
that out there, and man, a lot of people showed up. It was great.
Oh, it was killer. Yeah, Buddy Crump playing. You had Zach Lane playing.
Oh,
you
it
had,
was killer, man.
I think Mike played, didn't he? Mike Owings played.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was, it was like, for something that it was almost like Gary was there, man. The way everybody felt like that. Everybody felt like that's where Gary was hanging. He wasn't hanging over there with those other people. Gary was with his fans, the people that loved the music and that were, his fans and celebrating him. And we did celebrate Gary at Whitey's. We damn sure he knew it. If there's a way to know it, he knew it.
Oh, that was great, man.
It was. Everybody was there,
was
man.
Cool.
Everybody was there.
There, a lot of people filmed that. There's still a lot of film footage.
Yeah, I got plenty of film of it too. If I can find it, I'll put some of it on here because we're going to lose our monetization on this anyway, probably, because I got something I'm going to be talking about here. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that clickbait. This is the latest one I've seen.
Yeah, that's
Ronnie Van Zant was not.
Yeah, but that's
what?
not really bad. I mean,
but then they don't talk nothing of it's not what you think that it's going to be. It's like one of them of Gary's. I couldn't get the image of it. It was like Ronnie Van Zant deserved to. It's it's all clickbait.
Put yours up, Craig. Put the one up now that we are going to be showing on ours because that's what we're talking about. So,
oh, well, yeah. Well, they seen it when they
and there's like an individual in here that even said, let's see if I can find it. Right here. Morgan from Florida. The thumbnail was totally misleading. Listeners don't like that shit. She didn't say shit, or he didn't say shit, but yeah.
There you go. There's the new one.
Now that last one, where I put Tammy Wynette and George Jones and Lynyrd Skynyrd and Ronnie up there, and it said love triangle. Yeah, okay, that was a little out of control. But I was just testing. I was testing to see what that
we can't do that shit. I hate that shit.
Yeah, man. But the reason I did it, it was testing. It was a marketing test, and we did get more views than we normally get. We got like probably 500 more views than we normally get for that first few days. So it did work. Now we're going to try to start cleaning them up and putting some truth in them.
Yeah.
And why does Lynyrd Skynyrd
when I saw this, I laughed. I said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, that's
why does Lynyrd Skynyrd hate me? I mean, it is funny.
Well, I found my
we'll see
Adobe.
If it's clickbait or not.
I found my Photoshop Adobe, and I said, okay, now I can start doing some thumbnails. So
yeah, because I don't really believe that, but it's. Instead in the what did I call it? In the image of the whatever. What did I call that? Yeah, that Lynyrd Skynyrd, the trademark Lynyrd Skynyrd. God, I hate it when I'm too stoned and I can't think of words.
Yeah,
but hey, I'm mentally ill, man.
But
it's taking me so long to get these prizes.
But that's not a bad. That's not a lie. Why does Lynyrd Skynyrd hate me? That is not a lie, and that's not clickbait. That's real. That is.
Oh yeah,
real.
yeah. There's parts of Lynyrd Skynyrd that hate me. Yeah, they've shown that.
But whenever you went to the back gate and they wouldn't let you in, and then we played
that was a misunderstanding. After I started that out with Ed Canfield, that was
I think what happened.
They treated me when I went to Canfield this last summer. They treated me great, So
that's because you put a video on the podcast of them kicking you out of there, and that didn't go too good, man. That didn't work out too good for them. They were having people complain to them all the time, going, "Hey, I heard you kicked your roadie out." They didn't want to have to keep dealing with that, man.
They treated me great at the last one.
Of course they did.
apologized and stuff. It's cool. Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think Johnny's mad at you. I
No.
mean, he might be, but I think if you ran into Johnny, you guys would be
I
having a
talked
good.
to him in Canfield. We talked.
Yeah, he ain't mad at you. Johnny's
No.
he's seen more
And
shit.
Ricky, man, Ricky, he ain't got no. And Michael, the other guys, I don't even know. I met Damon. Damon was cool.
I guarantee you that Johnny Van Zant's got skin thick as this damn as Paul Abraham's book. Because
yeah.
you can't be in that band think how long Johnny has been in that band. Let's not talk about he's been in there.
Do you know what his head had to go through to take on that
Oh yeah. The guys
image, to go out there and try to be his brother?
That man is a rock.
And it was with a lot of the original band. It was Gary and Alan and Leon and Billy,
Yeah.
Artimus
Johnny.
was there. It was like the original band, and he was like Ronnie, and that was, it took a lot of shit to fill his shoes, man. Johnny's done a great job at it. Johnny's a good frontman, man. I was very impressed with the way Johnny.
But he's just an all-around.
I was very impressed with their show. I really was.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, man. He's a very nice guy. He's a very personable. When you walk up to him, I don't care who you are, man. He's got this smile on his face from ear to ear all the time. All the time, that guy. I've never seen him when he's not smiling. He's just, he's a happy guy, Now, I mean, compared to Ronnie, Craig, what are they like? Are they like night and day, or they both have probably the same kind of temper?
Either one of them, if you put whiskey on them, they turn into a different person.
Yeah.
Of course,
They got that in
to a lot
common.
of people. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
They got that.
And both of them, when they drink, they want to fight.
Yeah.
That's why him and Gary was out there wandering around in the yard with the sprinklers.
I was at the hotel. Yeah. Paul Abraham told that story. That's hilarious, man. He said he went over there and there's Johnny and Gary fist fighting out in the damn Holiday Inn. I think it was a Holiday Inn parking lot. And then it went out into the grass because they kept falling down and getting scraped up. So they figured they'd go out in the grass and fight. And then the sprinklers came on.
There's so many damn stories. Somebody should write a book about them, but the only person that could do it's mentally ill is not capable.
Well, that's why you have the podcast.
Doesn't want to do it. That's why I do this. If you want to know something, just ask me. I'll tell you. And I won't lie. Don't ask me no questions. I won't tell you no lies.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Moving
give a
along
shit.
in the comments here, let's get rolling here. Este Hatke. More about the black woman that was after Gary. Well, he must have saw, or this person must have saw that on another podcast, because not too many people know about, and I know her name, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm actually friends with her on Facebook, but it's a black lady, and she was possessed for frickin' Gary, man. She went to every concert and used to piss Dale off, man. Oh God, Dale used to get mad. And I happened to be in the car with Johnny Van Zant's mother-in-law because we were friends, and we were in Houston, Texas, riding around, and Johnny called on the phone, and he knew I was sitting there, but he started telling this story about this black lady at that concert that we were at, and he was talking about how she was getting out of control, man, and just like doing some crazy stuff trying to get at Gary. But isn't that weird how you got a black lady that is like
I
just
kind of remember that.
oh
I
yeah,
didn't
man.
remember it at all when you first started talking about it, but I kind of
She
remember it.
loved her some Gary Rossington, man. She was up in the front row with the VIP seat. I think she's like some kind of a nurse or something. And yeah, man, she was possessed over Gary. She loved that Gary.
I
She's a
kind of
nice lady,
remember that.
actually. I've talked to her, and she's a pretty nice lady, man. She's pretty nice. Paul
I
Conley knows her.
remember her. Yeah.
I think she was
Now
on
I
a
do.
Southern rock cruise or something, and Paul Conley told me he met her, and yeah, she's a little crazy, man. But that's all I can say about that there, Estee Hatke. I don't know a whole lot other than she used to go to all the concerts and as many as she could, and she would try to get messages to Gary, and she would wait for him and ambush him, and she used to like just piss Dale
I
off.
remember that. I
Yeah,
really remember.
Dale. Because yeah, think about it. Dale and like some freaking woman after her old man. That's pretty rude. I mean, it's one thing, but to be a fan, but to visibly try to get at him all the time and stalk him. She's actually stalking the guy. But she just loved her some Skinnerd and some Gary, man. I actually talked to her. She's a nice lady. So. But yeah, there you go, Estee Hatke. That's all I have to say about that. Anthony Whitten, see, was with see. Oh, okay. Anthony Whitten. Okay, those guitars I got back there. He goes, what's with the guitars wasting away on the stand behind you there, Griff? Do you need lessons or is it just for looking cool? Well, what I did was the next morning after I read this, I said, you know what? The guy's right, man. I got these freaking guitars back there, and people are like, I ain't never seen Griff play the guitar, or some people have or whatever because it's out there. But I just did a quick little video, man, of me on my guitar, 15 minutes, and I played some songs that me and my buddy used to play, and just so you can see, man. Don't beat me up, but that's what I did that for you, Anthony Whitten. So at the end of this podcast, I'll run 15 minutes of Griff playing and singing with his guitar, and you guys can have a big old time with that. But I play my guitars, man. Now some of those guitars back there I don't play because, I mean, you usually anybody who's a guitar player they have their favorites, and I like to have two guitars strung up because if you just play one, the strings get beat up a lot faster. So it's nice to give some wear to some other strings. You don't change them as fast, seems like, but there's guitars back on that stand I don't necessarily want to even pick up. I have actually a 1967 Martin that I keep in the case because that thing's like really valuable. And God, if I were to like that J180, that black one that you see right there, that black one, I dropped that thing. It's a J180. It cost $2,500 when I bought it, and I dropped it like the second day I had it and cracked the headstock on it. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Anthony Whitten, man, yeah, just if you want to, just go ahead and zoom forward and watch me play, man. You don't even have to listen to the jibber jabber. It's at the end of the podcast. 15 minutes of Griff. Y'all have some fun with that. And then Anthony Whitten says, I met Tammy and George at Panama City Beach, and that was like the initials that he put on there for something else. And he's like, yeah, over in PCB. Well, who the hell knows where PCB is, I mean, it's like, that could be anything. I mean, okay, PCB, Panama City Beach. All right, got it, man. He said that Tammy Wynette and George Jones, I guess they were renting some chairs out there, and he served them refreshments. He says, I have pics if you want to see them. Yeah, man. Send those pics to me, man. Send those pics to me. And that's payment for playing the guitar for you there, man. Send me those pictures to edwg59@gmail.com. If you got pictures of Tammy Wynette and George Jones hanging out at the beach, yeah, man, send them to me. I appreciate that. We'll put them up here and if they're any good. So yeah, you guys hang around at the end of the podcast and Griff on the guitar, and you can watch that. Let me see here. Scooter Weed.
Well, hold on a minute. And last week, Andreas Hawk, he's from Germany. He's the one that sent me this clipboard. He sends money all the time. But he sent $100 here last week, and he had a question. I forgot to read it.
Oh,
It said, Artimus did have an affair with, or Sally Arnold did have an affair with Artimus. Has this been the reason for the divorce of Artimus? I'm really not aware of that that whole situation. I don't know. I've heard that rumor, but I never knew Artimus and Sally had any kind of an affair. But then he's got it highlighted. You see there?
Oh yeah. Well, we could have asked her when we had her on. She wouldn't have had a problem with that.
I didn't know nothing about it. He says keep on telling something about everyday life in America. Well, it's pretty cool there, Andres. I think it is pretty cool. My life in America is pretty happy every day.
You just read that reminded me, a guy on Messenger sent me a message, and I told him I'd ask you this question. Greg Kaufman wants to know, hey, Griff, do you know if the films of Craig's, let's see, do you know the films that I assume Craig took of the plane and the limousine pulling up, is that at Greenville?
No, I don't remember where any of that stuff was. That was filmed.
I thought that was in Jacksonville. Where did you guys
when
start?
the limos pulled up? No, that wasn't in Jacksonville. We were on tour somewhere, and I was there waiting for the limos to come to the thing. No, that wasn't. I was so freaking burnt out in Greenville getting on that.
Is that where
that plane?
Is that where Chad was wrestling around with Ronnie?
That was Jacksonville. We were leaving.
But wasn't that at the runway too, or the airport too?
That was at the Jacksonville runway.
Yeah, so I was right.
Yeah.
So you do have video at Jacksonville with you out there on the tarmac by the airport.
Oh yeah. I guess I didn't hear your question.
Yeah. See there. But yeah, so you'd have to ask Sally Arnold, and I don't think she's a fond show watcher anymore. I think either I pissed her off or Craig pissed her off, or I think it was that. What book? There was something in the book that she didn't like. Ron Eckerman's book.
Something about Dean she didn't like. Yeah, something Ron said about Dean, but I don't know what it could have been.
Yeah, so she hasn't. She used to like send me messages every now and then. I hadn't heard from her. So, and Sally Arnold is the lady that the song "Lay Down Sally" by Eric Clapton was written for. And we had her on here, and we have her book, and we helping her promote her book. I don't have a copy of her book here, but it's the Rock and Roll Nanny, and it's a good book, man. I'll tell you, it's a riveting book. You guys don't have that book. She did some cool stuff. She did some cool stuff. So if you guys want to read some, I mean, she was a nanny for Mick Jagger. She took care of his kid, and she knows all of the Who. She knows everybody, man. So,
well, everybody was asking about Dean and Sally, and Ronnie. Well, I said I'd ask my buddy Ronnie Caruso, who's in prison, And you're supposed to go down and have an interview with him, maybe, if you can get a hold of those people.
Well, if I can't take a camera in there, it ain't going to do me any good.
It'd be cool if he could tell the story about his painting that got confiscated.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a good one. But all right, I don't know what was going on. I just kind of cut it.
We'll just jump back onto the comments here. Scooter Weed says Johnny and Ricky won't come on the podcast because they are still mad at Craig for peeing on them.
I wasn't even on the band bus. I was on the crew bus.
Well, if anybody first started watching this podcast, and you realize that Craig was the original roadie for Lynyrd Skynyrd, and he was there when they didn't have a penny to their name all the way to they became millionaires. And so he got fired from Lynyrd Skynyrd because he decided that one day he was going to get all tore up drunk and start walking down the aisle of the bus and flinging his willy out, peeing on everything. Now, we don't know if he peed on anybody, but he claims he didn't pee on anybody. But didn't it cost like $5,000 to clean the bus?
Oh, no, they just had to do the carpet. I don't know.
Oh, is that all?
I don't know what all I did, but I must have left a hell of an impression on the on that I was some kind of I don't know what. I got people calling me every day. I mean, every day going, Craig, I consider you more of a band member of Lynyrd Skynyrd than any of them new band members, and it's kind of true, but I mean, Ricky could tell you about what Skinner did prior to 73. I mean, he was with the original band stuff, but Johnny, as far as I know, did hardly even knew Alan or Gary, as far as I know, because the whole time I was down there, I never seen Johnny. He was just a kid, so he didn't know anything about Ronnie. I saw a podcast of him saying being on the road, he's learned stories about his brother he didn't know.
Oh, I bet.
So but all the other band members, they never even met any of the Skinner band. They really, God, Billy's been dead since 2009, and Leon's been dead since 2001. Alan's been dead since 90. Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
God, it's crazy, and there's still even a roadie can be a legend. That probably gets their goat that I'm a world's most famous roadie. So in some people's eyes, but yeah, it cracks me up. People will say, "Yeah, you're more of a band member than any of those guys in there."
Well, they did consider you, part of their.
Well, I was best friends with every one of them.
Yeah, I mean, they gave you cars. They gave you.
Oh yeah, I was part of the family.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny that the original me and Joe Barnes and Kevin Elson were the three original Lynyrd Skynyrd roadies in 1974, and we're the only ones that are still alive. All the other, and then, of course, Mark Frank, he was on the airplane. He was only with the band maybe the last year after Raymond and Chuck got fired. But he was a roadie, but he lived in Jacksonville. He lived in Spartanburg. So he didn't really hang around with the band at all very much, just.
Well, a lot of people don't realize Mark Frank.
He was Pat, Artemis's first wife. Mark Frank was her neighbor. That's how he knows Artimus.
But he was friends with like Toy Caldwell.
Marshall Tucker. Yeah.
He grew up with those guys, man. I believe he was in Toy Caldwell's wedding, and even I think I remember him telling me, he he knows a lot of those people.
Yeah,
that
he
were in
did. Yeah, he
Marshall
did.
Tucker, man. Yeah.
Hmm.
And have you ever heard the guy play the drums? He had a stroke, and he can play
I know he
drums
has a
better.
set of drums.
Yeah, he can play, man. He's a hell of a drum player, man. He's a hell of a drum player. And he had a stroke even. I mean, but anyway, yeah, so there you go. And Dorothy Jeffrey, was Ronnie getting a divorce? Is it true? Was the papers on the plane? We've probably talked about this 500 times, but it's worth visiting again real quick here for Dorothy, because trying to find that in the podcast would be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But people think Craig had the divorce papers in his briefcase, and Craig says, "No, I didn't have any divorce."
Well, I don't know. Like I said before, what was about as soon as I woke up, all I know is Peter Rudge and some guy came into my hotel room or my hospital room and needed to know how to get into my briefcase, and I gave them the combination, and they left, and that's all I remember. So there was something in my briefcase he needed to get to. I don't know what it was.
Huh.
But I heard I did. I don't know.
So you don't know what was in your own briefcase?
I don't remember. I was in a plane crash and was unconscious for 12 days. There's some things I just don't remember.
Right. Yeah, I know about that.
Plus, I'm mentally ill. I got brain damage, and I got alcohol and drug abuse problems, and I still have to medicate myself every day to deal with the pain. But at least I don't use food to eat for comfort, or
I knew. That's why I was laughing.
Those stupid cigarettes.
That's why I was laughing, because I knew it was going to get to the fat part. Craig always, he likes to. He knows that he did a lot of drugs, and he knows all the things that what he does that people can pick on him. But his default is, if you're fat, you ain't got shit on him. If you're fat, man, Craig believes that fat is somebody fat is the most mentally ill thing that there can be.
Well, I was fat, so it is mentally ill. I realize it. It's mental illness, man.
Yeah.
What the hell? I want to be damn fat, man. Jesus.
There
God.
on Craig's Facebook today, he's got a picture of 5 women in different stages of fatness, and one of them's a skinny, and they're numbered 1 to 5. Now, number 3 didn't look bad. Number 3 looked pretty good to me. She was like what you call a big bone.
I said number 1. Number 3 was thick. I just say she's thick. Number 1 was nice and tiny. Yeah. Yeah.
And Craig,
I always used to say, the closer the bone, the sweeter the meat.
Well, he puts the picture up on Facebook, and he don't say anything but number 1. He don't say nothing but number 1. And then,
some guy says she was anorexic. Yeah.
And then one guy, he put number 3, and then everybody's just putting what their opinion of the number is on there, Yeah. So if you want to go to Craig's Facebook, you have some entertainment to look at on that thing, man. I mean, it's really, oh shit. Then Jeff wants to know, hey, KG said he would come on the podcast. Hey, I would love to have Kent Griffith on the podcast, man. That guy's, would be, anytime. As a matter of fact, I'll call him. I'll call him and say, if he told you he'll come on, I'm gonna call him because I want him to come on. I've been bugging him, and I gave up because he don't like his face on there for whatever reason. But I'll ask him, man. I'll ask him, Jeff. Ban Everything says that to my Tammy Wynette and George Jones story, who reminds him of Britney Spears. I did work for her parents I think they were trimming trees, and my boss left me there to clean up. And her mom didn't like him having to work by himself and was mad at his boss. And she went and got him a tea, just like me in that story that I told, and said, yeah, that she was mad at his. Do you know Britney Spears lives right near the monument? I mean,
Really?
yeah, I mean, I swear it's 5 miles from the monument. I
No
swear to
kidding.
God. Yeah. And her father is best friends. And I won't say his name because he might not want me to, but one of the board members for the monument is like best friends with Britney Spears' father.
Wow.
And I went by her house there just to see it when I was some guys that knew where she lived took me over to her house and said, "Yeah, Britney Spears lives there." And it's like right near the monument. So she grew up there. And there's a little restaurant right there near the
That's
monument.
back in the sticks back there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little
You
restaurant
never
there.
been but to the monument. It's out in the nowhere.
And at that restaurant, they got pictures of her. It's like a little tiny burger place, and I went there and got like a burger, and they got all these Britney Spears pictures. I go, "What is it with the Britney Spears?" And they go, "Oh, she comes here once a week, or she, you know." And I'm like, "Really?" And I was like, "Damn, that's kind of crazy." So yeah, so she grew up there right near the monument. That's really freaky. That's yeah. So uh, yeah, that's a great story, man. That's just like the Griff Martin story with Tammy Wynette and George Jones. Let me see here. Rich Schlake. I met Paul and the band backstage in Alpine Valley, and Paul was a great guy. Yeah, we hated losing Paul. We played that little video of him talking about his cancer on the last podcast. If anybody hadn't seen that, you need to go back because we lost Paul Abraham, who wrote this book. I don't know. I'm sure his wife gets the funds and she could probably use it, or his girlfriend or whoever. I don't know who his heir is, but that's a great book. And Paul wrote that. And we lost him last week. So a lot of people comment on that. Michelle Lovett, watching Paul talk about his cancer brought tears to my eyes. Yeah, and I got something to say about that too. And I'm going to go ahead and save somebody's life right now, Craig. And I'm telling you, I'm going to save somebody's life right now because I went to the dermatologist last week and they found a mole that big on that card right there. See that? That's actually that's Barry Harwood's business card. I'm not going to show you too close. It's got his phone number on there. But that little dot is a mole that I have on my back, and the doctor said, that's melanoma. And I'm like, how do you know that? She took a picture of it. And she goes, I just been doing this long enough, and I've had 7 melanomas myself, and that's melanoma. And I go, well, take it off. And so she did a biopsy, and she was right. And then I had to go back yesterday, and I got 10 stitches in my back and 3 staples where they took the melanoma out that was that big. Now, anybody who's listening to me right now, we're talking about cancer and Paul Abraham, but that's not what he died from. I believe his started in his bladder, but I'm not sure about that. But that little mole right there would have killed me probably a year from now if I didn't get it cut off of there. So check yourself. Go to the dermatologist. I guarantee you somebody that's watching this podcast right now has a melanoma mole on them and they need it taken off. Go do it, man. It's scary. It's scary. It'll kill you. It'll kill you. And so that is my message for cancer. That's my message. Yeah, Michelle Lovett it's a really sad, that cancer. And you know, Johnny Van Zant, he's got like a lot of cancer deaths in his family, and he's just, that guy hates cancer, man. He's like, you know, everybody that's been close to him, you know, has had a bout with it, and he's fed up with it, man. Old Johnny. If you ever hear him talking, you know, I believe his daughter even has something going on now, and you know, he lost one daughter, so it's horrible, man. It's a horrible thing, and I do believe in preventative, you know, like colonoscopies. Remember that time, Craig, you went for the colonoscopy and you didn't drink enough stuff, and you didn't, they ran into a butterbean husk or something and they had to stop the procedure?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember Kathy telling me, you know, Craig went and got his colonoscopy and they couldn't do it because he didn't clean out enough.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remember Kathy telling, not Kathy Godsey.
I think the only thing I remember is I drank some tea and with honey in it, and that wasn't, and I messed up a test because I drank. That's what it was. That's all.
Well, why'd you tell him, man? Tell on yourself. I don't ever tell on
Well,
myself.
that's what it was. That's what it was. I drank some. I wasn't supposed to eat anything, and I drank tea with honey in it, and that's considered food.
Oh,
So
I thought
they
you.
couldn't do it. That's the only thing. I never. No,
I thought that you didn't clean out enough, and then they ran into like a
no.
butterbean husk.
That's all
and
I
they
did. I drank some tea with honey in it, and then I
Oh,
couldn't.
okay.
I
I
wasn't
stand
allowed to drink
corrected.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
said
you
that
know,
before, and I couldn't remember that. That's the only thing that ever happened. I
so
drank some tea.
the moral of the story, the colonoscopy, the breast examination, you know, the dermatologist, you know, I mean, get that stuff looked at, man. Get that stuff looked
I
at.
just made an appointment. My doctor. I just went and visited my doctor. She said, "You get that colonoscopy last year?" I goes, "No," and so I asked her for the information, but she laughs at me. She goes, because I had my blood tested, and she laughs at me. She said, "Your bad cholesterol is a little high, but your everything else is, all your organs are in perfect condition." She just laughed. She goes, your kidneys and your liver, they're perfect." She goes, and I know what you've been through. It's just it just tickles me.
Yeah,
She said, "I'll see you next year."
well, hell,
So
you probably would have lived 120 if you would have been a preacher. If you'd have been touring with a religious band.
I'll deal with what I did. That was a lot of
Uh,
fun.
and
I
then
wouldn't take
Kimmy,
anything back. I had a lot
Kimmy,
of fun.
Kimmy says we have a lot in common. I have relatives in Lakeland, and when I was in Lakeland, I went and by Tammy and George Jones' house. Yeah, Kimmy, you got relatives over there. Well, you know, I try not to go to Lakeland too much because, I mean, that's where I grew up, and it's just, you know, and that's why, I mean, it's like 30 minutes away from me, but I don't mind going there. It's just, you know, that's the reason I moved 30 minutes away because I don't want to be right back there where I was, you know, and I still want to be around my family. But yeah, cool, Kimmy. That's cool, man. We got something in common. Um, Shady C, why don't you guys have Crimp back on? Well, I was just getting ready to call Crimp and go do the On the Road with Griff Martin until they found the melanoma on my back. And now I got a concert coming up here with Second Helping that I'm going to be videotaping at the end of this month. So I'm going to be busy until probably middle of next month. But then, Joe, if you're listening, look out, man, because I'm coming. Joe Crimp. I'm coming for Joe Crimp. And we're going to go do the oak tree you're in my way story because he was in the car with Gary when they hit it. So that's going to be a good one. So if you're listening, Joe, which I don't think Joe keeps up with the podcast anymore. He might, but then Mark Reagan, thanks for having Paul on as a guest when you did. It's great memories. He was a great guy. Yeah, we have about 5 shows, podcasts, 4 at least with Paul on there, and usually we bring Mike Estes on with him, and those 2 guys together. They're good because when they're talking, they've got so much history together that they got all these stories that they'll bring up. And so go look up Mike Estes and Paul Abraham and go check those podcasts out when we had those guys on. And I think the first one we had was number 37 with Paul, I believe it was. That was a long time ago, Craig.
God, yeah. We're at 351. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, number
Never
37.
did I ever think when we started doing these that we'd get to 351.
And then Topher, because I mentioned something about, I thought Tammy Wynette had been like abducted or something. I remember reading, he goes, yeah, Tammy reported that she was abducted and beaten, but later on her daughter reported that it was her husband that did it. So it's something about that. I remember her getting something in the news over something like that, and it kind of, yeah. So, and that was because I told a story on the last podcast about how when I was a kid and my father did some work at Tammy Wynette's house, and I was working with him, and she didn't like the little kid was sweating and getting too hot, and she made me sit down and brought me some tea and gave me some swimming trunks. And it pissed my dad off because I was supposed to be helping him, and she yelled at my dad. But that's the Reader's Digest version. And then Rick Walker, he goes, what was the conversation with your dad after that, Griff, on the way home? I remember he was like, he wasn't really like mad at me. He was, I think, mad at himself for taking me because he didn't realize the bad thing about it was a school day. It was a freaking school day. I was supposed, she was nice for that, I thought, but no, he didn't. It was the next morning, I remember him telling all of his men the whole story. He was laughing about it, really. He's what he was doing. He was laughing about it. And then I think she wanted me to come back over there because he took me back and I saw her again later. Yeah, it was it's one of those things like Craig says. It was so long ago, you only kind of remember portions of things, but I do remember her. And I remember, her husband. And I believe he was a little drunk that one day when we first saw him because he was pissed off about the whole stereo thing that my dad removed the whole stereo system, and he had somebody coming back to put the wiring back, and he couldn't get that wiring back in fast enough. He didn't think he was going to be able to sit in his chair with his new carpet and listen to his music that night, but the old man had it up and running. The old man, he didn't mess around, he had somebody on top of him. Griff, let me see. Morning Mary. Griff, did you know the house Tammy Wynette lived in is still there, and you can see the guitar-shaped pool from Google? I don't think that pool is there anymore because the pictures that I showed on the podcast last week, I don't think that guitar-shaped pool was there, but I do remember that, yeah, that pool, it was pretty cool. It was shaped like a guitar, and there's somewhere else somebody had a pool shaped like a guitar, but that's one I saw in person. So
Ronnie's pool is shaped like a guitar.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Brickyard Road.
Is there any pictures of that anywhere?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's some pretty good
I swam in
information.
that pool.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That was right by the lake.
I just took a
right?
dip in it. I mean, I didn't spend the day out there. I just jumped in the pool.
Yeah, that was a nice place out there. And then Old KG's going to correct me and put something in the comments on this because I can't remember who it was, KG, but it was a guitar player for Atlanta Rhythm Section, I believe, bought that house from Judy.
Yeah, Robert Nix.
Was it Robert Nix? Yeah, Robert Nix actually bought that house from Judy. Right? Was it Judy or?
Judy, yeah.
Yeah, Judy sold. And then it burned down, didn't it?
I think so.
I think it
Something
burned
happened
down.
to it.
Yeah. Warren's Warriors. We were talking about last week where the song Powderfinger was given to Ronnie Van Zant by Neil Young as a song Neil wanted Ronnie to play, but Ronnie didn't get to do it because of the plane crash. And Warren's Warriors says Powderfinger would have been a great song had Ronnie sang it. I'll agree with that, man. But I do like the Neil Young version too. You know, and Neil Young's one of these guys where, man, I just got to pretend that he's not a liberal because, you know, I love Neil Young's music, man. You know, I mean, some of it's weird, but, you know, Neil Young, man, come on, you know, shit. Don't be
Old
rude.
man, take a look in my eyes. I'm a lot
Yeah,
like
it's like, you
are.
know, it's just, you know, you just going to have to just pretend like Robert De Niro. There's a lot of movies that I like that he did, you know, but you just gotta just pretend, you know, that political shit ain't happening because you know you don't want to ruin the stuff that you like thinking about how they really are. You know, just like if you knew how Craig really was, you wouldn't like him either. I'm just kidding.
Nobody
Craig's fun
likes
to
me.
be around. Craig's fun to be around.
I've been married 5 times, and they all left me.
Yeah, Lynyrd Skynyrd don't like him. Lynyrd Skynyrd don't like him, though. Let me see here. Oh, Jeff says maybe the lyrics that Craig got to see from Neil Young were on that. Let me see he says. Maybe the lyrics Neil sent Ronnie was on the Trans album. I don't know what the Trans album is. I probably should have looked that up. But there's an album out there, and my buddy Jay, I think he told me there's an album out there where it's not a good Neil Young album, and that might be the one.
All I remember is the next album because I only had the first few of Neil's, but yeah, from what I remember, after Ronnie that happened, the next album he came out was real strange. So
yeah. So that might have been those songs. Who knows? But I think had Ronnie lived, him and Neil probably would have done something.
I think so. Yeah, I do. I think
because I think Neil was a fan of Ronnie's.
Yeah. Ronnie, a lot of people say Ronnie was a great lyricist. I mean, God almighty, you know.
Oh, well, I mean.
Those songs are 50 years old and they're still
well, we just talked about Freebird.
So is a lot of Marshall Tucker songs. You still hear the Marshall Tucker.
We just talked about Freebird.
And Marshall Tucker will never be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's bullshit, man.
Yeah. And then one more comment, last comment from Angela Lynyrd, friend of the podcast, Angela Lynyrd. Paul fought the good fight. Rip Paul. Rest in peace, Paul. And I believe Angela had a little bout with cancer herself. So this podcast, let it be a cancer message to anybody that has not had a colonoscopy, has not had a breast exam, has not had a dermatologist look at their skin, and don't think it can't happen to you. So go check it. And then thank me later. So that's the end of the comments and questions, Craig. And then you guys, if you want to see Griff playing the guitar, I left it to the end so you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but I'm sure you're going to want to go look at that because you're going to be, oh, hell. You know, so but somebody, ask you to, you got guitars behind you and stuff, and and you don't play them for them, you gotta break out the guitar and show them, man. You can't just be having guitars laying around and not play them. But I do play them, so there you go.
All right,
Craig?
See you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Now, 3:51 for Craig and Griff on the talk show, the Stone Roadie Show, and up and coming is Griff live, living and breathing, playing on the acoustic guitar. And yeah, don't hang up. Stick in. We're out of here.
Griff Martin here, and no, this is not a Lynyrd Skynyrd Tuesday's Gone tutorial. I broke out my 1978 Gibson Hummingbird. It's one of my favorite guitars, and somebody in the comments last, they said, Griff, you have all those guitars back there, how come you never play them? You don't know how, do you? Or, you're just trying to look cool. Like Steve Gaines said, I know a little about it, but I am no expert, and I am no Steve Gaines. But, I reconnected with my buddy, Jay, after I retired and moved back here, and we got together, started playing some old songs that we used to mess with, and we were going to gig around. We went out on our first gig. A week later, Jay had a heart attack, and we hadn't done much since. But I thought I'd break the old set list out here and just go over some of the ones that we were playing, not play the entire song, but just portions of it, just to give you an idea, and you can listen to me play, and don't be too hard on me, man. I ain't picked the guitar up in probably a week now. But we played old songs like Old Eagles. Is another tequila sunrise, staring slowly across the sky. Say goodbye. He was just a hired hand, working on the dream he planned to try. The days go by. Every night when the sun goes down, just another lonely boy in town. She's out running around. Wasn't just another woman, and I couldn't keep from coming home. Been so long. And along that lines, I like the way your sparkling earrings glisten against your skin so brown. miss Jay because, you know, he put all that fancy stuff in there, you know, with the leads, and I just played the rhythms. So, yeah. Here's a Tom Petty song. Honey, don't walk out, I'm too drunk to follow. You know you won't feel this way tomorrow. Maybe my little bit rough around the edges, side a little bit hollow. Get faced with something sometimes so hard to swallow. Hey, 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 I was born a rebel down in Dixie on a Sunday morning. Yeah, one foot in the grave, one foot on the pedal. I was born a rebel. I was born a rebel. Yeah, some old Tom Petty, and I think we all know this one. Well, she grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom. Never was around, and she grew up tall. She grew up right with the Indiana boys and the Indiana nights. She moved down here at the age of 18. She threw the boys away, it was more than they'd seen. I was introduced, both started grooving. Said I dig you, baby, but I gotta keep moving on. Gotta keep moving on. Let's dance with Mary Jane. One more chance to feel the pain. I feel summer creeping in, and I'm tired of this town again. Had to add that in there, right? That was Jay. That was Jay did all that. Yeah, so there was that, and then late in the evening, wondering what clothes to wear. Puts on her makeup, brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. Oh my darling, you look wonderful tonight. Yeah, little Eric. I kind of messed around with a little Bob Marley and Eric and put them together and did my own thing here and did a. Try that again. Yeah. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot no deputy. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot no deputy. All around in my And so, well, we got the capo on here. Let's do a little George Harrison. Something like that, you know. And there's like some Zeppelin. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. Mountains crumble into the sea, there will still be you and me. Kind of woman I give you my all, kind of woman, nothing more. Something like that, a little rusty, but yeah, you know, is it getting better? Do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. Little one, little U2. Thought I'd do one more just to exit out of here. And this is for Craig because he's such a stoner. So let's do this for Craig. By the rain, driven by the snow, drunk and dirty. Don't you know that I'm skilled with it? Out on the road late at night, I see my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Alice. I've been from Tucson to Tucson, to Hatchet to Tonopah. So I wouldn't get weighed. If you'll give me weed whites and wine, show me a sign, I'll be willing, be moving. By the sleet, had my head stove in, but I'm still on my feet and I'm still with it. Smokes from folks from Mexico, baked by the sun every time I go to Mexico. But I'm still, I've been from Tucson to Tucson, to Hatchet to Tonopah, driven every kind of rig that's ever made. So give me weed, whites, and wine. Show me no sign, I'll be without. Keep moving. That goes out to Craig. Appreciate you guys listening. Don't beat me up too bad. But that's about all I got here. I got to practice up on some more stuff, and maybe I'll get Jay back playing again, and we'll start clubbing. Appreciate you listening.